All right, everyone. So here we have round one of Gen Con. This was actually my first loss, unfortunately. There was actually a repair, and did like 10 minutes of a game to start, and then they had an issue and did a repair, and so this was my new opponent. My first original round was against Zoro, but I ended up losing here. There is, I believe, a number of misplays. I decided to keep my hand. It felt good enough. They shuffle back, so they were telling me that they had 3 events in their hands. What more could I have ever hoped for on a mulligan hand, and so hoping that they, possibly don't see the 10 mom, because that is like their win con, and it does make it harder for me. So, yeah. But yeah, I felt decent. I'm known for keeping mid hands. I lost the dice roll. I'm going first. They're going second. That their curves on evens are crazy. I get the EZO. We're searching. Grab a Marco. Classic play. I don't remember like what was there, but obviously like Marco's probably solid. I likely have a Flame Emperor too. Just because, like, it's so valuable against yellow. I don't see myself, like, if I saw it, like, putting it back with an EZO. Yellow, of course, playing the Sanji. I'm like, okay. I believe I have a Seaquake, and I'm just going to Seaquake that. I might not, and I might be waiting to Marco it. And I might just go 7 at face. Also, Seaquake is very small value against yellow. Oh, you know what? I think I have Fossa, and I want to establish the Fossa early since they don't have a ton of removal. And so I'm going to go 6, poke for a 2k, and just hope they take it. Which was very fortunate because a lot of times yellow would just counter out. But Big Mama, of course, needs to go down a little bit. Yep, I had the Fossa. Play that just because they don't have, like, they have Thunderbolt, but playing Thunderbolt early, like, this just lets me maximize my Dawn usage because I'm going to play Marco next turn. They've got 4. I think they just swing 7. Oh no, they're gonna play the cream guy. Oh, worse. I remember this. And he left it there, so I should swing 5 the next turn, obviously. The 5 at lead was rough. Yeah. Yeah, probably think I'm going to take that too. Oh, no, I gave him a 2k. Cool. All right. Yeah, that was like, I don't think I had any 1k. 5 at lead, yeah, because they know what the card is, so I don't want to overpay to give them their value if they left it there. But then once he's at 3, Big Mom should be able to start activating her ability, because then it, like, at the time it would be 2 life, I believe. They're thinking about it. They know what it is. Yeah, trigger. Yeah. Yeah, see, and imagine paying 7 for that. So if they keep it, especially in like Katakuri, it's important to try not overpay. And then I'll pop this Anji. Yep. Get rid of that value. He still has the Katakuri, which is unfortunate because that's going to come back again this turn. 6 Dawn. Not much that yellow does on like the 6th turn. They do get a 5/7 in the Yamato deck, so that's cool. But yeah, I have 5 in hand, I believe. 4 life. They're at 3. Cracker is alive. I'm going to go to 7. So Flame Emperor will be live at that point. Poke that 5. I want to say I take and hope for a Flame Emperor. Yeah, and then a Flame Emperor pop the Katakuri would have been so good. Also makes me want to play Jet Pistol. Yeah, I'm going to take that probably. I don't see me countering out of that. And then they're going to go 7 with Big Mom. I might counter out of it, but yeah, no trigger. Yep, and so there goes the ability. I think he placed a Thunderbolt there, which was also unfortunate because I believe my next swing. Yeah, I block it. Okay, that made sense. Got a decent amount of cards in hand at this point. Yeah, the Brûlée was unfortunate. I think right here I have Flame Emperor, and I believe what was correct would be to pop the Brûlée and just go 8 and put them down to 1 going into their 8 Dawn turn. Because I just hit 7, and I debated this for a while. Forgot to restand my leader. Poke the 6. Because if I eat a card and then I was the Flame Emperor and connect, it's even more value. And so I'm thinking, do I want to Flame Emperor the Katakuri or Flame Emperor the Brûlée? Because if I put them at 1, it puts me in a great spot. Yeah, they have, I believe, 4 cards in hand at this point. I'm going to opt to just do the Katakuri, which I don't believe was correct. Just because, like, next turn if they swung 3 7s, it would have hurt, but they probably were going to play something and swing like a bunch of 5s and have like no Don for Nikaku, and they'd be at 1 life, and I could potentially just push for game the next turn. It would have put me in a potential winning spot, because I have a ton of cards in my hand, so I should have a decent amount of events. And here's me just thinking about it, like, I'm like, which one do I want to do? And they got 2 2Ks. I'm like, what are the odds of what do they have? But I'm going to Flame Emperor the Katakuri and swing and just eat the blocker right here. But I think I should have just gone ahead and popped the Brûlée and swung, put him at 1, and then just attempted for a game next turn. Assuming they didn't have any blocker triggers. Because, yeah, the first one is... Maybe I'm wrong and they didn't add Thunderbolt. Maybe that was later. But, yeah, they Brûlée, block it. Or, you know what? Yeah. But, yeah, I think I should have just popped the Brûlée, pushed 9 at life by discarding an event. I've got like 7 cards in hand, a decent amount, and I could have just I would have had the Marco. He wasn't gonna go anywhere, and I could have potentially tried the pressure for game. Also, one thing that I did that was very helpful was I kept a dice. Like, a lot of people have been doing it, but previously I hadn't. I used the dice to keep track of how many cards they have, so that way, like, as I'm playing my turn, I know by just looking, like, right there, like, how many cards they have in their hands, so that way I can attempt to calculate game correctly on lethal better. Yeah, and they're on 8, so they can play the 7-drop Big Mom. If they get spicy, they could swing with the Pero Sparrow and then play Katakuri, put Pero Sparrow back in the life, so that way I can't out it, and then, they're at 4 life. Yeah, give them a 1K. Easy enough. And it's shaping up like, okay, now it shows that they're not going to play Katakuri. They're going 6. I take. No trigger. They're going to play the Big Mom. And then I have another Flame Emperor, so if they went to 1... and then they play the 7-drop Big Mom, I give them a life instead of trashing here. I also believe this was incorrect just because they're going to their 10 Dawn turn. Assuming they don't have Big Mom is kind of crazy. But they would have been at 1 life, gone up to 2, and I was going to Flame Emperor the next turn. And they still have 4 in a hand, so assuming I go 9 and it connects once more, they would have been back at 0. And I just would have been in a very strong spot going into this turn. But I also should have just trashed mine. Yeah, I'm a Flame Emperor again. And then this one is going to connect. I just do 8. Gotta have two 2Ks, and if one of those cards is the 10-drop Big Bomb, they have to have two 2Ks, or I guess 2K and a 1/1, which would be very unlikely. And then that's a, yep. Yeah, and that also was not great. Yeah. Yep. Discard the White Bear Pirates the same, but I pretty much just lost the swing there too. I play another Fosa, like, great. This will work. I also almost believe I have the blocker Marco in hand. But yeah, if I had connected the first time and just dedicated towards that, going into this turn, they would possibly still have the Katakuri. I might have had to commit resources to get rid of that, but I potentially could counter out and could have put myself in a position to win. So that one was on me. And so now he's at 10. Obviously, you just smack down the Big Mom. Swing 2 5s, which is also unfortunate because he just guarantees to eat 2 cards. And then I'm going to keep the Fosa. I would keep the Fosa for the Big Mom because I want to block that swing, obviously. But them being at 3 life is also just trouble because I don't have another Flame Emperor. Yeah. Yeah. Seaquake wasn't a ton of value, but of course it was an event, so it was a 1K counter for my leader. Yeah, you get a 1K. There's another one. I think I give him an event. Nope. Oh, I give him a 2K. Yeah, and then I'm sitting here like I have to deal 3 damage. They have 5 cards. 3 life still. Like, yeah, I just feel like I could have gone lethal had I done the Flame Emperor, just popped the Brûlée and committed. And just countered out of whatever attacks they decided to do, because going into their 8-Dawn turn, they probably weren't going to go a bunch of 7s. But they might not have just played the 7 Big Bomb either and just went for game, so. I have no life. I'm like, what do I do? Yeah, I have the 4 Dawn mapped aside. I believe that's for the other blocker Marco to try to keep me in there. Go 7. Try to see if I can connect. I think this goes at Pero Sparrow to get rid of them. This might be at lead though. I might go Pero Sparrow second just because I don't want to give them cards. If you're attacking at life at all, you should always go for Pero Sparrow last, just because they will gain a card and you don't want to have an additional card for counter. Even though it's effectively the same thing. You go 7. It might have been at Pero Sparrow. It's possible I just go 9. I might also just poke 5 with Ezo. Oh no, is this Rush Zoro? That's the Rush Zoro. This card came up. I might just go 5, poke for a card, and then I can go 6 and play Marco. I'm just going to go 7. And then they get a Thunderbolt here, which also sucked. I'm like, oh. But I'm like, okay, I'll have 2 blockers because I'm going to have the Marco. I miss having double Marco. 5 at life. I think it's no trigger. And then I play 4 for Marco, and I'm like, yay. I'm going to live another turn, and then maybe, just maybe, I can push enough because I have 2 cards in hand, so I can only counter twice, so I would have to block both swings. Since they don't have a live rusher, like, I was like, I'm good, but I watched them add the Thunderbolt, which pretty much spelled my demise. They just mapped 4. They actually have 2 Thunderbolts. Yeah, double Thunderbolt. And he's going to trash both his life, yeah. And I'm like, yep. Yeah, he got it. He got it. But yeah, so I do think I could have gone a little bit more aggressive there early on. I do hope you guys enjoyed. The rest of the rounds are coming. This was the first round. I lost round 1 and round 5. So please consider subscribing for the other videos. And I hope you enjoyed this gameplay. Thank you all so much for watching.